Okay. I don't have any jokes today because I'm tired. It's late. But I do have an election prediction for you. And I am recording this before the final results are in. So my prediction is tomorrow morning we will have a president of the United States. Welcome back, people. How you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. We're ready to jump back into the medicine bag. So last time we read through the story and highlighted key information in the paragraphs, important information in the paragraphs in yellow, things that really help us understand what this paragraph is about. And then in pink, we highlighted words or phrases we're unfamiliar with. We also learned that you can hide the image so you have more room to work with. What I'd like you to do right now, before we jump too far into our activities today, is I'd like you to go ahead and pull up your story in the textbook. So pause the video, and I do mean pause the video. Pull this up and start the video again when you come back. Pause now. Okay. You got your book pulled up? If so, let's continue. If not, pause the video. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and hide this so I can look at the text. So we read through it. What's going to be helpful for you before we do any activity today? Well, it's up to you. I'll let you decide how you want to do this. Read back through your highlights. So I'm going to go, okay, wasn't tall, wasn't in braids, didn't live in a teepee all by himself, the reservation. So I go, oh yeah, Grandpa's a different kind of Native American. He's not like your Hollywood TV version of a Native American. He doesn't wear feathers. He's just, he's not like that. Bragged about our grandpa, impressed by our stories. Oh yes, they're telling stories about their grandpa in school to get attention. Authentic new moccasins, rawhide drum, Lakota chant, had a feather on the end. Man, that really made an impression. Oh yeah, they get these gifts from their grandpa. So you see what I'm doing? I'm reading through the highlights and remembering the story. I'd like you to do that before we get started. Now, the assignment we're going to do, it may be good for you to know what our assignment is before you do this. And so we're going to be looking here on the right-hand side. And let's look under the tab that says Making Meaning. And there are two areas we're going to work in today. One is the first read area, this one right here. And the other is Comprehension Check. We're going to do both of these activities today. So you can look at this activity to get an idea of what you're doing for the day before you read. That way you can read with a purpose. So it says, use this graphic organizer to record your first read ideas. Now we add the title of the story here, and we're going to record what we notice. We're going to make sure we annotate, which we've already done. We're going to connect some ideas from our life into the story, and we're going to also respond by doing something with the text. So notice, who is the story about? What happens? Where and when does it happen? Why are those involved? What? And why those involved react as they do. So here you're going to type that out. Annotate by marking the vocabulary and key passages you want to revisit. I would just say, you've already done this. You've highlighted the things that are important. If you have any other main takeaways that you want to put here, you can do that. But honestly, you don't need to do this section. Connect ideas within the selection to what you already know and what you've already read. So thinking about coming of age, growing up, what does this story have to do with growing up? How do you relate to this story? Do you have a grandparent who's embarrassing? I think we all have a grandparent who's embarrassing. But we also love our grandparents. And so, there's this tension in the story. Can you relate to that in any way whatsoever? Maybe there are other family members that you really love, but you feel kind of weird about with your friends. You don't want your mom to kiss you goodbye in front of your friends, whatever. So take a minute to write some ideas here after we do our reread, and then respond by completing the comprehension check and writing a brief summary of the selection. So a summary of the story. Again, we're not doing this section right now. First, we're going to read through our highlights. Okay? So, what are you doing right now? Reading through your highlights. You're going to read through your highlights to remember what the story is about, and then you're going to complete this chart. So, read through the highlights, really, and complete the chart. Questions? You can ask me in class. Go ahead and pause the video here. You're going to read through the highlights and complete the chart. Come back when you're done. Pause the video. Okay, you are back, and you should have finished all of this good stuff here. All of this good stuff here. Well, you already did this, never mind. All of this good stuff here, how it connects. And we haven't really done the comprehension check yet, so you did your best there. Let's go ahead and complete this comprehension check section now. Now, really honestly, you need to have reread over your highlights before you complete this section. But I want you to go ahead and click out each of these questions and answer them. You type them here. Type your answers. If you need to put bullet points like the first thing, then the next thing, you can always click this bullet point, and that will give you bullet points, or you can number them as well. You can play around with the formatting here and get used to what these things do. Bold, italic, underline, and you can undo what you just did. So take a minute, and I'd like you to answer each one of these questions. Question 1, question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Answer those 5 questions. Pause the video. Come back here when you're done. All right, and you are back. Now, I want you to double check. Did you answer each of these questions with a complete sentence? You should. If you didn't, you need to go back and fix it. And when we answer a question, we're always going to restate the question in the answer. So, what makes Grandpa sound glamorous to the narrator's friends? Mr. Fairbrother, I don't know what glamorous means. Great. Easy. Watch this. Tab. What does glamorous mean? Look, I even spelled it wrong, and Google's still going to help me out. Well, DuckDuckGo. Glamorous definition. Let's see what is glamorous. If you describe something or... Whoops. No! I don't want you. Exit. If you describe someone or something as glamorous, you mean that they are more attractive and exciting or interesting than ordinary people. Oh, how are they making Grandpa more interesting than ordinary people? What makes Grandpa sound more interesting to the narrator's friends? Restating the question. Grandpa sounds interesting to the narrator's friends because blankety blankety blank. Restating the question and answering it. I want you to do one last final check for that on all of your questions, and then you are done. So finish that up. Get it done. Don't turn anything in. If you turn it in, there's no way to unturn it in. So don't do that yet. We got to finish all this stuff. If you have any questions, reach out. It's good seeing you guys again, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.